Hey everybody, it's Jameson, and I am going to tackle a project for the spring. This is going to be, if you're an Easter fan or even just a fan of deviled eggs, then you'll know what this is. This is a deviled egg tray. And the mold comes from Colors for Earth, my good friend Paula McCoy. So if you're interested, I'll drop the link, but you can just go to her website, Colors for Earth, and search egg and it'll pop up. But this is a mold that Paula sells. I haven't seen this anywhere else. I think it's exclusive to her. And it's not that expensive. Gosh, $40 or less, I think, for a large mold. It is 13.5 inches by about 9.5 inches, 9 3/4, I believe. So I was just studying it and trying to decide how I wanted to use it, and I decided to pull in another good friend of mine and products you've seen all the time, Lori Moreno from Wilderness Glass. So Lori, this is stock that Lori had for Black Friday. She considers this to be kind of her factory seconds, and I think it's gorgeous. So you know, it probably doesn't meet her perfect standards, which is why she sold it. I was delighted to pick it up at a deal. And so I thought I would make yet another one of these kind of Murrini channel plate things that I'm enjoying making. You've seen a couple of my videos of those, and I wanted to use these pastels, which I thought would look really nice on an egg plate. And then Lori also has, you know, gorgeous millefiori, which is the glass flowers. She has some rather large ones, and so I thought, and some colorful yellows here, and I thought I would kind of sprinkle those in within as well. And I'm just going to fire this on some clear Tekta so that these colors really just kind of pop against the Tekta, and I thought the clear would be kind of cool. So I'm going to get started cutting my glass. I'm going to kiln wash my mold. I don't have a firing schedule for this. It's rather deep here in the middle, these middle channels. So anyway, if this works well and I find a firing schedule I like, as always, I will post that as well. So I'm gonna get started cutting my glass. I've been buying some toys lately, so I've been playing. I bought this used. It's a cutter's mate, and so you're familiar with, some of you are familiar with the cutter's mate, and there's a strip cutter component to this. So a little bit different view, a little different perspective today as I film this video. I'm gonna cut my glass. What I'm gonna do is a rectangle of Tekta as my base, and then I'm going to do some Tekta for the top, but with a gap in the middle to accommodate the Murrini. I will lay it all out. I'll show you all that here in a bit. Okay, so I cut my clear Tekta as my base, and then as I was going through my glass, I thought I would do Tekta on each side and then color down the middle so that it would be clear on each end. And then I found some opaline striker, which I think is super cool and might look really neat with this. So what I've done is I've cut 2 pieces of opaline. One of them has the rolled edge here, and what I'm going to do is just kind of freehand draw some pattern here in the middle that I'll cut that glass out, and then I will flow that Murrini down the middle of this channel. So what I want to do is try to have it kind of be in the middle of my platter to the best that I can. So this is going to be the piece that's on the left hand side of my glass, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure in about 4, let's call it 4.5 inches on the top and the bottom, so that I kind of have, even though I'm going to freehand this, I kind of want to have a target there where I land. And so that's 4.5 inches from the left, and then I'm going to do the same measurement here from the right hand side of this piece. And I mean, I'm just being a little, like I said, I'm freehanding anyway, so I'm just being a little I'm not being too careful with it, but I'm also not just guessing. So what I want to do is I'm going to start drawing my pattern. I want it to end at that same spot generally. I may have to try this a couple different times, so let's see if I can do well here. I'm going to come out and then do, well, that was pretty close. And so I want to try to match that look. Oh boy. See, this is what you get with trying to do this on video and having everybody watch. And you know me, I don't edit much out, so you get to see my mistakes in my process here. Freehanding this exact same pattern. Well, that's not too bad. I'm just going to go with that. So now I've got to cut this, and let's see if we can do this together. So this is using my cutter's mate here. I'm going to oil it up. Now, I have never used this before, truly. This is the virgin cut that I'm going to make with this tool. Just move that one out of the way. Try not to cut myself in the process. Now, what's interesting about the cutter's mate, if you've done any reading on it, so the perfect score line for glass is like, gosh, if I don't shatter my glass, this is heavy, is about 8 pounds, 8.5 pounds of pressure. And so this cutter's mate is designed to roll on this bar. It's loose, but once it's on the bar, you kind of can move it and roll it, and you know, it's got a joint here and you can move it however you want. And this rotates so that your, let's see if you can see this, so that your cutting head can move. And it is weighted, it is heavy, and then the weight of that basically creates the exact right amount of pressure that you need to get a good score on the glass. So what's going to be interesting, I mean, I'm so used to using, I'm going to just set that down. I'm so used to using my hand and my control that this is going to take some getting used to, but I understand from people who have one that once they have it, they love it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my, I'm just talking this out loud. I'm going to put this down, and then I'm going to run my score, kind of turning as I go. Oh, I'm so nervous about this because I also don't want to lose my, waste my glass. You'd think I would try this on something that didn't have a high cry factor. Here we go. I found myself putting extra pressure on. I wasn't letting the tool do the job. So I was putting more pressure on it than it needed to. I've got my running pliers here. I love these Silberschnitt running pliers. Just see if I can break this and get a good score. Ah, I did it. Okay, I was a little nervous. You know what? I just needed to own it. You just need to step in and own it. I was probably a little too nervous. I didn't even breathe, I think, during that segment. I do love these, by the way. They're so nice. They're not inexpensive, but they're high quality, and boy, I love them. Okay, now let's see. Did I just get lucky there, or can I do that again? Let's give it a shot. Not following my line as well. That's all right, I'm just freehanding it. See how that went. I got it. All right, so I'm going to put my scrap away. I'm gonna mark it. I always mark my scrap with a Sharpie just so I know, and particularly this, because opaline will be quite a surprise if you think you're using clear and it's not. And then I'm going to come back and assemble this piece and show you what it looks like. Okay, so these chunks of cane from Lori are a little tall. In most cases they're, I don't know, an average about 8, 9, 10 millimeters tall. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take my nippers here and the cane, and I'm going to try to chop them in half, because if there's a piece that's, you know, say 9 millimeters, if I chop it in half, then that's 4.5. 4.5 plus the 3 millimeter base of Tekta is 7.5, while that could still flow, it certainly wouldn't flow as much as if they were this tall. So I'm gonna go through here, and what I've done is I've got a little bucket and I've lined it with some paper towels just to kind of keep things from spraying out all over or jumping around as I'm nipping these up. I'm gonna nip these and my other colors and then start to assemble. Okay, so here you go. I've got the pieces that were already pre-fired and done, and then I've got my cane. This is some of that blue, lavender, the orange, then the pieces that were already pre-done, and then here's my bowl of green. And so I'm going to go over and build this in the kiln. All right, here it is. So I filled that thing up. I had to go back and cut some more green. Thankfully, I had some. If I didn't have any more green, I could have just spread it out a little bit and then put some frit in between to kind of fill in those gaps, but I had plenty. So we're gonna fire this. Now you saw I put some dams on the end just to drive myself, not drive myself crazy by having these pieces fall off. And so I put those dams on the end, filled this sucker up, and then pulled them off. Now that's going to create an uneven edge because that's gonna flow, and that's okay. I'm gonna do some cold working to this and then do a fire polish to get the best look and the best result. So I'm okay with that. So anyway, I removed those dams. I'm going to kind of stop breathing over it, very carefully close the lid and walk away. And I'm going to do a full fuse on this and see what happens. All right, here is the piece. I've pulled it out of the kiln. The opaline looks amazing. I did pull it out. As you saw, I ground it down a little bit to fix the edges to make them a little bit more level. When I put it back in, I decided to flip it. I went back and forth and back and forth. And so for the fire polish, I did flip it. So now it's a solid sheet of Tekta on top. I think that gives the cane some interesting dimension, and I just kind of like the look of it. So now I'm gonna put it on the egg mold and put it back in the kiln, and I'll show you what the finished product looks like. Okay, I've taken this out of the kiln and I am thrilled. Here you go. This is the finished piece. That, let me move this out of the way. That mold is awesome. This is the first time I've fired in it. I will definitely be using it again. Don't you just love, if you're a Bullseye user, don't you just love opaline glass? I mean, look how beautiful that is. It's kind of ethereal, really. You get the, yeah, you know, the almost blue kind of lavender hints that can come with that in different light. I'm really pleased with my slump schedule. So I took a guess. I went 12:25 for 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I'm pretty pleased actually with that. In terms of the definition that I got and the deepness of the slump, these channels in the middle kind of barely touched down, so maybe you could go a little bit longer. I was concerned about it dog boning in too much on the sides, and so I didn't want to go too hot, but I probably could have gone just a smidge longer. Maybe next time I'll try, you know, 5 extra minutes or something the next one I do. But generally, super pleased. So if you like this project, please check out Paula McCoy's page to pick up that mold. And thanks a lot for following along. I hope everybody is having a great week, continues to have fun making glass as I do. And if you want to see more, please like and subscribe. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. I got to figure out how to price this thing, but I'm really pleased. Look, I included a ladybug. I always like to include in these floral things a ladybug for good luck. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this project, and we'll catch you all later. Bye.